What I've got here is an OG Para Ordnance P1445. This is the OG double stack 1911, sort of the predecessor, I guess, of the 2011. Not really going to talk about this one today. Hopefully, we'll get to eventually, but picked up a budget minded holster for this thing. And today we're going to take a look at actually this holster, how well everything fits, feels, functions. And then once we get through with that, we're going to rate this holster. So let's get over on the bench and take a closer look. On the bench, taking a look at this holster here from Gun and Flower. Yeah, this is a weird name, I guess, for a holster, but this is a retention style paddle holster for 1911 government series, so the longer 1911s. And you can see we've got the double stack P14 here, P1445, and it fits fine in this holster. Yeah, there is your paddle, and you'll notice that on the back here, you're able to adjust the cant. That's which way this holster turns, kind of how it rides on your hip. With it being a paddle style, you'll see you've got these little hook things here. Obviously, a belt would ride in this area if you're doing wearing a belt, that is. If not, you can use this, and because it's kind of springy, you'll notice you can just put this down inside your pants, and you've also got those same little clippy hook thingies back here. Yeah, very technical terminology today. And what that's going to do is that's going to put pressure like on the waistband of your pants. Keep this from pulling out as you draw. It is open bottom, but it will only accommodate the 1911 government models with no rail. Now, some compensated models potentially you could get it to come through the end right here because it is pretty smooth. There's no really edge or bevel on the inside of this, so that might allow you for a little more length in this holster. As far as the construction, this thing is pretty doggone solid. Really smooth. You do have some lines, some molding lines in here, but they're not rough. When we insert the handgun, it goes in and it locks up fine. And you can see there, it's not coming out. I'm pulling on it. It's not coming out, which is really cool. You want that with a holster. You want some type of retention. And the thing is, if there's the slightest bit of pressure backwards on this, it makes it really hard to trip this thing. See how I'm pulling, and I got the button down, and it's not coming. So push down a little bit, push the button, and then it comes out fine. Everything comes out great. One of the cool things, or another cool thing I should say, about this little plastic holster is that, as I said before, it's for 1911 government models, as long as they don't have a rail. So what we've got here is a Colt, and this one actually is a BB gun, Colt Commander BB gun, and you'll see that it fits, locks up fine, retention's good, no problem there. Still the same thing, need to push it forward a little bit to be able to pull it out. And then I've also got my Taurus here. Same situation. Boom, put it in there. It locks up great. Everything fits fine. Retention's good. Push forward, release, and there is that. I was super excited to see that my OG Classic P14 actually fit in this holster because I was looking for a holster for this. And yeah, really excited to see that. It fits in there fine. And it's a decent little, for a budget-minded holster, decent little holster. We're going to jump over, do some ratings on this holster now. Before we do that, though, real quick, if you want to take a look at this holster in a little more detail as far as the specs and everything else, I will, of course, have some links for you down below, and you can do that. All right, it is time to rate this holster, so we're going to bring up the CloverTacometer. First thing we're going to talk about is looks, and I'm going to rate this thing good as far as looks. Really smooth design with the, I'm assuming this is injection molded. No really rough seams or anything like that. No overuse of material. It's fairly minimalistic in that there's just enough material, it seems, that it needs to get the job done, right? Feel on this thing is, um, man, I'm going to say probably below average. It rides on the hip well. Of course, it is a paddle style holster outside the waistband, designed for that. Whether you're talking about with or without a belt, still feels good. Carries the weight of a 1911 well. As far as features on this, I'm going to rate above average, because when you compare this to a lot of holsters out there, you've got the adjustability of the cant on the back of this thing. And as you can tell, they're really positive lockup and click when you go in. So, yeah, above average, I think, on features. With reliability, I'm going to go average on this thing. It is pretty decent, it seems like. Molded plastic. You've got nice flex in the pancake area back here. Don't see any reason why it would not give years of service, but I don't think that it's anything leaps and bounds better than some of the other similar holsters out there on the market. Now, with accuracy, I'm going to go with a good rating on this, because just of the number of 1911s that will fit. There is a little bit of play, but that's to be expected when you've got one that will hold, multiple brands of 1911s. And with value, I think I'm going to go good on this holster. It's obviously a budget-minded holster, but when you talk about all the features, the paddle, being able to adjust the cant, the retention, the ability to house multiple models, I should say, of the government 1911, even some double stack stuff like this P14. Um, I think I think good is a fair rating on that. Speaking of, as we talked about earlier, being able to house those multiple 1911s, I recently reviewed a holster here on the channel that is a universal holster like you've never seen before. It is not an Uncle Mike's nylon junkie holster. It is really unique. It's really cool. And if you want to check that video out, I've got it loaded up for you right here. As for this one on this holster, we're done. So we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.